Hey everybody, it's Benita. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope that you are surviving these days so far. I wanted to make this quick video to talk to people who are dealing with depression during this time. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine about 2 nights ago, I believe it was, and we were talking about why so many people don't come forward when they're dealing with depression, particularly in the Black community and even more specifically in the Black church. We were talking about how it's so easy to mislabel or mismanage someone that's struggling with depression based on limited education about mental illness or mental health in general. Um, I've not been silent about my journey with depression. Um, it's been really bad. It got real bad when my daughter died, and it's been really bad since then. So I see my therapist. I was seeing her once a week. Now I see her once every 2 weeks. Because no matter how long it has been, still grieving for my daughter is part of my everyday life. And I just don't think a lot of people will get that, particularly if you've never been through it. But if you have, then you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to go into a long spiel tonight because it's one of those days. And maybe when I'm feeling a little better, I'll go into it a little bit more in detail and everything. And even maybe go live or do a Q&A session or what have you. But I just wanted to share that if you are dealing with depression or anything like that, please find someone to talk to. Find someone that care about you. Don't call anybody that don't care or doesn't have the capacity, to have sympathy for you, because they're going to make you feel worse. You know, Unfortunately, a lot of times, even in our churches, we're made to feel worse before they even understand the concept that not all depression is spiritual, not all depression is environmental, not all depression is situational, not all depression is seasonal. Sometimes depression is a matter of the chemical imbalance in the brain. Well, mine hit me from two different areas. One is because I've had so many. Those of you that regularly follow me, I have two different types of brain tumors that I've been living with for the past 12 years. Next month will be 13 years. And although I'm grateful that God keeps me alive with something that has killed a lot of people, it does not change the severity of the things I struggle with. And then the second part of the depression is really grief. There's not a day that goes by that I don't miss my daughter. Not one day, and a lot of times I used to talk more openly about it, but then even people that I thought knew me and understood me would be like, oh, basically thought I would talk about stuff like that for attention or just to get people to respond to me. If I'm talking, number one, it's because I need to talk. And then number two is because I'm trying to educate other people that these are real issues that real people deal with in the real world, and not some hocus pocus, Jesus gonna fix it all, pie in the sky kind of details. Because like I said, depression, it has many different forms. It doesn't have a look, doesn't have a color, race, creed, religion, sexual orientation. It doesn't have a pedigree. It doesn't care where you matriculated from. Depression doesn't have all of those things. Sometimes a person can look, you know, be skinning, kissed by the sun and all of that, like me, and still have those private struggles that is really difficult to talk to other people about. So I think that's why it's just difficult for a lot of people to come forward and talk about, because people think if you look a certain way, then certain things should not bother you, or certain things are not applicable to your life or in the way you look. I don't know why people think just because a person is beautiful, they're educated, they're spiritual, they're wise, they come from a big family, 2-parent home, all of that depression will somehow elude them because of all of that. And that's absolutely not true. Like I've said, I've had so many brain surgeries and strokes and things of that nature. Sometimes those neurotransmitters, they just misfire sometime, and I could be doing perfectly fine and then like wake up in the morning, I can't get out of bed. The biggest thing for me is my challenge with eating. When I get depressed, I stop eating. I stop taking my treatment meds for the second type of brain tumor I get. Unfortunately, that causes me to feel even worse, but I fight the best I can with all the weaponry that I do have. Yeah, of course that includes prayer and all of that, but I'm not going to pretend as if prayer is the only weapon in my arsenal when it comes to dealing with depression, or anxiety or PTSD, or even, adult ADHD. I always wondered why I could do so many things at one time and actually accomplish them. I thought I was real smart, which I am, but I never would have thought that I would have received a diagnosis of having ADHD, adult ADHD. I remember after my first brain surgery, the year after my first brain surgery, I wrote and put out 3 books published. They're all on Amazon. And my brother said to me, how in the world did you write 3 books? I put out, actually I put out 4 books, I believe. In 2017, I put out one in September, October, November, and December. They're all on Amazon. You can look it up by my name, Benita Bradley. You'll see all my books there. And I couldn't give him an answer. And because sometimes it's like I sit and I just hear, like I'm taking dictation and I write. That's how a lot of my books come to me. But I just thought that was because I was, really smart or whatever, until I got the diagnosis. I just really wish we were a different kind of people. When I say we, I mean black people, black Christian people, because there's so much to talk about when it comes to mental health and dealing with depression and anxiety. It's so much we need to talk about. So much that's left unsaid, undiscovered. And so many people are so uneducated about it, and I wish that more people took it more seriously than to just say, oh, she's just trying to get attention. oh, he's just trying to get attention, or oh, she's just trying to get people to respond to her. Most asinine things I've ever heard in my life. You know, who wants to grieve for the loss of a child? I want y'all to think about that. Who wants to live knowing that there is a ticking time bomb embedded in my brain? I wish people would think about the stuff they say to me. I really do. Because there's so much we need to talk about when it comes to mental health. Every day, I miss my daughter. Every day. Every day. Yes, I have another daughter, and I also have a son, but you can't replace a child. You know, all of my children are incredibly special to me. I also lost a baby before she was full term, so I have that always with me as well. So when people say stuff like, oh, you're trying to get a response, or oh, you're trying to get attention, honey, this is my real life. Even when I lost my home last January, and I'm still living in a hotel, it makes 1 year I've been living in this hotel. Who wants to tell people all of that just to get attention? I try to bring awareness, even if it is through my own life, no matter if I'm at the high points or the low points. I feel like my job is to be as transparent as possible. I do believe and I do think that I'm still here so that I can be that light, so that I can be a witness, you know, even if people don't think that I'm healed. The fact that I'm living should be enough for you. I mean, what else y'all want me to do? Jump off a building and see if I can fly? No, I'm not doing that. Been there, done that. And so the next time I have this conversation about mental health, I do hope that more of you pay attention. Because after a while, people get tired of saying the same thing and nobody's listening. And then as soon as something happens, everybody, oh, she could have talked to me or he could have called me. That's not true, because when people call you or call out to you or reach out, you know, you don't answer, or you answer with some slick sarcasm, you know, about somebody wanting attention or responses. You got to be more careful, okay? Peradventure, you find yourself in this situation one day, and I know you're going to want someone there for you. All right? Bye-bye.